A little bit about Zalo. Zalo is the popular app. I think it's not just in Vietnam, but also in Asia about the OTT service. And we have about 80 something million users right now. Another question. Anyone here born before 1991? Like 27? Okay. So just a few of you older than 27, right? And I think most of the audience here are quite young. And so the internet. And the internet was born about at 1989 by Tim, and he made it in the lab, in the lab, and the first one, the first browser was made publicly in 1991. And from then, the internet become very popular, and it's popular very quickly. When it become popular, we use it very much, very often, and we generate a lot of data worldwide, and everyone is connected to that internet. And people generate so many digital content from their phone, their personal computer, from laptop and smart gadgets like smartwatch or other stuff. And these are the number, like how much data we generate. But this is quite outdated. It's from 2016. And right now the data is generated in the exponential rate, and it doubles every 2 years. But let's take a look at the old data here. We have like more than 90% of the data generated just by the 2 years. And we have 8 zettabyte in 2 years ago in our digital universe. And you know, zettabyte is a really big number. We don't use it often in our normal life. And if you wonder like how big is it, it's start by the 1 and followed by 21 0 after that. So anyone here know about this game? Okay, this game is it's a Vietnam hint. It's a hint in the south of the country. So there's a television channel, TV7, and there's the game. Basically, you know the game Temple Run, right? It's very famous game on the iOS, and basically you go endlessly, you run endlessly, and you can go to the left, to the right, or you jump or dodge an obstacle. And here the way is play is that you can actually play it remotely through your phone. So it's shown on the TV, and then people will call to their phone number, and then they will select a lucky person, and then they can just use the digit 4 or 6 to the left or the right. Yes, this is the phone, and that's now. You can just play directly by the phone by calling to the call center. And if this game alone is it's not interesting, right? It's okay, but you get bored very quickly. But when it comes to the TV, everyone like crazy about it. Everyone love it because people can play together, watch together, and share the experience, share the enjoyment together. So we see the internet. We connect with the internet, and more and more devices connect to it. We generate a lot of data, and we have a lot of better experience when we spend on the internet. And we're not just using the phone or the tablet, right? We can connect more and more things to that. For example, like just the game I just introduced you. The thing is that what if we can connect the chair into the internet. What if we can connect the light bulb into the internet or anything around us? Like you can touch physically, but then you can connect into the internet. You can digitalize it, and everything can communicate. You can talk to a thing, and the things can talk to each other. So that's the concept of Internet of Things, where anything around you connects to the internet and it becomes the Internet of Things. And like Doc just mentioned, we can use many stuff to implement the Internet of Things. Like you can use Python, you can use C, you can use JavaScript. It depends on the board you want to use, and many of you will find quite difficult. For example, like difficult for you to get a hand on the Raspberry Pi using Arduino or stuff like that. And this is the Droidcon event, and many of you here are Android developer and very familiar with the Android SDK. So we can use Android things, and we can reduce on our knowledge, our experience about Android development on the tool we already familiar with to build Android things. Basically, it's quite the same experience. And in the Android things, we have almost everything as compared to the Android SDK, normal Android SDK. We also have the Google Play service, and we can access to all the Google Cloud service. We can customize an image, so we can flash into our device. For example, you can, if the device doesn't have the UI, the screen, then we can opt out that function. But you can, basically you can customize your image that you can flash it into your device. Here's the architect of Android things. It's quite the same with Android, but except several different things like the hardware abstraction layer here and support library for things. Things also support some peripherals APIs, so you can connect your device with external device. And here we support, they support general purpose I/O or the PWM for server and other peripheral I/O. And we can also easily develop external device and connect to the Android things using the user derivable API. What is the user derivable API? Basically, it's a piece of software, a piece of code inside your library, so you can develop so for example, if you want to connect your Android things with a light bulb or a server, then you have two options. You can connect it through the any peripheral I/O here, and the way you connect to the external device, if you do it that way, then it might be very specific and other developer cannot reuse the code. But if you develop a driver, you can open it to other developers to connect to your customized device. And there are a few things you might want to notice when you develop software for Android things. That they lack of some common content providers and intents. So you might have to look into the documentation and be careful when using something like that. And display are optional. So some device can have the display, so you can develop UI on it. You have button, you have all other exactly the same XML layout as Android, but some are optional. And the Google Play service is just about a subset of it, and no runtime permission. Because normally the Android thing, you don't interact with it much. You just configure it and then let it run, and you can connect to the Android thing through a component application, possibly on your phone. So there's no runtime permission. If you want to register for dangerous permission, for example, you want to the ability to read system property, for example, then you may want to reboot your Android things and then deploy it again, so that it can be able to grant that permission. And there's no notification. And about hardware, there are some certified development board. That's Google works very closely with the hardware provider and certify the boards, so you can buy them and play around. There are some other system on modules like flash storage, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, USB, so you can easily plug it in and then use the driver to connect to the device. Then also the board support package managed by Google. The BSP is the piece of software used for writing bootloader and boot manager, so be able to boot the OS at runtime when you first boot it. These are some Android things device that you. And today I have the Pico MX7D, and I will have a demo quickly after this. And for these as the kit that you may want to try at home, and for education or for learning. And I really like this one because it has 3 buttons here. You have the alphanumeric display, so they can display both number or alphabet, and you have a 7 less rainbow. And it also has some sensor like pressure sensor or temperature sensor. So to start with Android things, the first thing is that you use the Android things console, and in the console here you can create and manage your ROM. You can create and you can create and manage your device, and then you choose the image. You customize the image. You choose the component. You choose the SDK level, and on the stuff like that, and bundle into an image. And you download it, you flash it into your device, and you run it. And the console, it provides feature like OTI updates. So when you build an image from the console and you distribute into your device, you can update that image on the fly if that device connects to the internet. And it also provides some sort of analytics to measure the performance of the device. Okay, I talked about this already. So this is some specification about the rainbow hat. And I connect the two together, and I will have the demo right now. So before starting the demo, you may want to, sorry, I think I haven't pushed the code yet. Already push the code. So you can scan this one here and download and install this APK. And I invite 4 people come to the stage and have the demo with me. So please spend some time and install this APK and then come on stage. 4 people. have the device here. I have the rainbow hat. I have the NSP device, and along with it, I have camera, a LCD display, touchable LCD display, and a Wi-Fi. Any of you? Okay, 1, 2. I need 2 more. 2 more people.
Actually, I would like to join, but I cannot go with it.
You cannot?
Yeah. Anyone else facing the already?
You don't have the
I tried QR.
the QR invalid? Or?
No, it gives me a link, but I tried.
No, I think this is because your internet connection, not because of the Wi-Fi. So I think I can share Wi-Fi hotspot with you.
I already have
Okay, you can connect to the Wi-Fi.
Should be able to
So some of you might not be able to download the APK. I think it's because the Wi-Fi. So if you have 3G, then you use 3G. Okay, here's the thing. This demo is about this one. I call it Bitano. It's like piano, but it's played in 8-bit sound. It produces the 8-bit sound, and each person here gonna be one key on the piano, and then I will be the man who play the piano. Because we don't have the speaker, the microphone, so I think some of you behind maybe cannot hear it. But that's the idea, okay? I think I can pass it one around, but it's kind of like fragile, so you can pass it around, but be careful. need one more. Okay. Can you? Okay. WiFi. You stand over here. WiFi. Then, okay. You come on the top. Okay, let's try a little bit. So first, give them an applause. Okay, you press the button first. Let's see. Okay, that's a good. Okay, you got here?
Yes.
Okay, it's quite small, so be patient. What I would do is that they come on top like this, and then I will, when I tap your back, you press the button, okay?
Yeah.
Let's try it. Okay, I think I need to swap this one. Only one, okay. Try again. Okay, so don't press button unless I tap your back, okay? Okay, let's play piano. Can you stay closer? Much closer, because my hand cannot restore. Okay, let's play a song and then you tell me what the song name, okay? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Anyone can tell me the song? You?
This was maybe Cháu lên bà.
Yes, that's exactly. That's a Vietnamese song. Sorry, guys. Okay, thank you guys, and that's it for the demo. And I will have another demo shortly.
Let's go.
Okay, stop it. Okay. So in case you want to hear the whole song again, let me play the whole song again for you to hear.
Alright.
Yes, that's the song. And the next slide gonna be like go into detail. How can you make it to happen? First, you connect the device to your USB hub onto the laptop, just like any ordinary Android device. And then, after you flash the SDK in, the image in, that's that. I don't put into the this slide because it's quite obvious. You go to the website and you see all the instruction there. Here is the command lines for you to connect your device into a Wi-Fi hotspot. You put in the Wi-Fi name and Wi-Fi password here, and then that's it. We connect to the Wi-Fi. And this is the step when you create a new project in Android Studio. Yeah, you still use Android Studio. And you click on the Android hint and you create a new project, and then you have an Android project, Android hints project. And the difference is that in the AndroidManifest.xml, you have to declare this line. Like you use the library Android hints. And you also need an activity. And then that's it. Basically that's it. And for all other things, it's only like Java from there, or you can use Kotlin, and then you read the documentation of the library and you use it. And for the device here, it has a speaker. So this is the API provided from the software, the hardware provider, and I just plug it in and then play the sound at a specific frequency. So I play the sound. Here I made it a little bit of thread delay, so that the sound can sound a little bit longer, and then I put it in stop. And then when I'm done with the playing with the device, I close the connection. Okay, I have a different demo. So because this one has the camera, so I can play around with the camera. And some idea could be you make a doorbell, for example. Someone pushes into the doorbell button, and then it will ring, and it's capture the image, and it's analyze the image. For example, it's realize that okay, this is someone you know already, and it send you the notification, hey, someone visit you. It put their name, for example, or a cat press a button, or a dog press a button. It's no at all. Yes, in the demo, I use the camera and capture the device here, and show the device here as well as on the label that's annotated inside the image. For example, it know inside that it had the phone or a dog, a cat is labeled on everything out. And I use Google Cloud Vision for this. And of course, you can use other stuff like TensorFlow Lite on mobile, so you can use that to detect the object inside the image. But here I use Cloud Vision to annotate the image, and I make it a little bit different. So normally you can, because Cloud Vision provides REST API and Android SDK, so you can integrate into the Android and use directly from there. But I make it a little bit different. I make an endpoint, like a REST API on my own, and I call that API. And inside that API, I call to the REST API of Google Cloud Vision, and I analyze the image from there, and then I give back the result. This is just a demo, right? But in real life, you don't need to do like that, but this is the demo. And my point is that you can have a heavy computation on a server. And that server can be serverless, and you can deploy it on anywhere. You may be familiar with Fast Cloud Code. Anyone here use Fast Cloud Code or know about it before? Okay, it's just a few of you. So I think most of the people here are front-end mobile developer, right? You may find it difficult to write backend code, for example. And because if you write backend code, you have to manage the server. You have put in effort to manage the system, and that's not easy because when it scales, it's not easy. You may use other solution, cloud solution like AWS, Google Cloud, and Azure, for example. But still, it's still painful. And here I will show you how to create an endpoint and have a JavaScript code deployed to that and do stuff on it. Here I use serverless framework, and this one is a Node.js framework, JavaScript framework. It allows you to write code and then deploy that code into many different providers like Google Cloud, AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud Function. So the destination you want to host the application is not important. And this service this framework is handled all that, and it abstracts all of that provided for you. And here I deploy to Google Cloud Function, so I need to do all the boring step to create a Google account, associate my built-in account. So when someone like depend on the traffic, Google will chat me. So I need to create a built-in account and go to the API dashboard. I enable this API so I can be able to access Cloud Function, deploy that Cloud Function automatically from the terminal, or access the Cloud Vision API. And I also need to create some sort of API key so that I can be able to deploy and authenticate and deploy the code to the server. Okay, here's some of the command line. You need to be able to use serverless framework, install it. You create a template project from it. You go into that project, you install all the dependency, and then install the Google Cloud Vision SDK for Node.js. And then inside that test folder, you go into that folder, you will find the serverless configuration, and I think you only need to change the project ID. And this one is the key that you generate in the previous slide from the Google Cloud Console. And inside the index.js, this is the content, the code that you need to, basically you want to develop anything, you can put it here. Here is the function that I have. You send a request, it captures it, and then here I log the request out, and I get the URI parameter, and I create a new instance of Cloud Vision, and I say like the Cloud Vision help me to label the object inside the image, and depend on the result or error, I return it into the HTTP response. And after that, I deploy the code to the server. Just one line, serverless deploy, and then that's it. And first slide, we have the log here, and we can easily debug the log, debug the application by access the log using the command line here. And this one is the function. The function. This is the function defined in the configuration file. Here. For example, here I have the first function. So in that command line, I have to put in the first, the string first, and then I can able to be access on the log inside this function. And this function have one handler. This handler is this one. This one. And when you go access to the endpoint, it executes this code. So that's basically it. You can come here after this talk and then play around with the demo using this one. You can take a picture, any object. You can print your phone, your cup, your laptop, or even your face, and capture it, and then let the device analyze and detect the object inside the image. Here's some of the resources that I find very useful for developing Android things or Internet of Things in general. The first thing is documentation about Android things, of course. The second line is tutorial, the more detailed tutorial about using serverless that I introduced previously. And TeamSpeak, okay. I turn on this device like maybe half an hour, and let's see what is sent to TeamSpeak. Okay, This is the Droidcon weather station. TeamSpeak is the dashboard. It's the dashboard, and then you can send any value to that. You can send double value. You can send string. You can send whatever you want. And this is a hub of information, and it provides some sort of REST API. You have the API key. You just need to call an GET API, the GET HTTP into one URL, and then you send that information in, and then that's it. I have a loop inside here, run like maybe every 10 seconds, and I send in the temperature of the room. I think this point is when the demo starts, and this is now. The reason why it's coming up because the way I plug everything in, it's quite tight, so the device head up, so that's why the temperature going up like that. But normally it should not be like that. So this one is something you need to check out. Oh, sorry. Then so Blink. It's something the same with TeamSpeak, but it's on mobile. So you have a dashboard on mobile, and you can configure everything from your Android or iOS. Teamboss is like an open source solution. You host everything on a server. You build your own dashboard, and it's like TeamSpeak, but this is the open source solution for that. And ETTT, this one very interesting. Anyone here know ETTT? Okay, only a few of you, but this one is definitely something you need to know, and you can play with it like immediately. Very easy. Okay, so it has many things here. Basically, you can automate your daily life using many commands. You see, on the things here, they are the customized receipt that built by different people, and then they share to the community, so you can use. Okay, let's see the script that I use, and you create this, if this then that, if TTT. This is the trigger, the event that you trigger, and that is the action you want to do. And here you can connect to many services like your Google account. And in Google account, you can have stuff like Google Doc, Google Gmail, Google Photo, Spreadsheet, Google Drive, so many things. Even your location, time in a day in month, or the SMS, or so many things. For example, if I choose the trigger is Twitter, this means that you can choose on the trigger here. For example, like someone mentioned you, then it's provide a trigger, and you go to the action and you configure something, and then you can automate your life. And these are the dashboard solution for provided by different providers like Google, Amazon, and Azure. And I saw on the news yesterday or 2 days ago that Microsoft gonna put in like $5 billion into IoT, so it's gonna be fun. So that's it. You guys have any question?
Yes, I have.
Yes.
When you illustrated your demo, you said that when you create a new Android application, you create basically an activity, right? You create an activity.
Yep.
Yeah. So my question is that this kind of activity that you are talking about, it has the same life cycle that we know for the activity, or it's a bit different?
Yeah, it's quite the same. It's the same. Mostly the same. You have the XML file, you can define on build your layout and on create and destroy and stuff like that. It's quite the same. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What other component that you can use? Like, for example, you already have like services, broadcast receiver, all these stuff. Can we also include these components when it comes to work with?
Yep, you can. But like I mentioned, some of the system provider,
Yeah.
content provider, or system intent, it may not be available.
Okay.
So you might be careful about that when using that. But yeah, you can build your own program service and intent
But
provider. It's up to you.
it might be fully configured with what you are working with, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, for example, because the activity has these states, like if it's visible or active or anything like this. Basically, we don't have anything like this when it comes to working with mechanical states. Because your activity will be always visible and it will be always running, right?
Yes, yes.
So these states won't
It's very less likely to be happen. It can be happen because if you provide an app on a device that has a display, for example, you can interact and then go to different activity and open all the app, for example, then it's gonna be possible. But it's less likely to be happen in real life.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Any other question? I also have some promo code to give you away, so you can check out the code and then set up your own Google Cloud project for free. So come to me and let me know if you need one. I have a bunch of code to give away. So come to me after that, after this.